You've arrived at the Texas to Tennessee podcast, your home for your favorite independent artists and a couple of guys you've never heard of.
Who?
It was Texas, it was Tennessee. It was what I had coming to me. You were unlike anything.
Howdy, folks. You have arrived at the Texas to Tennessee podcast. It's exactly what Evan Boyer said there. Thank you to Evan, and thank you to Adam Hood. We will always be appreciative for y'all putting that together for us.
Smile every time.
We are very appreciative. Also, we see on YouTube. Well, we don't see anybody yet. Oh, we have one. Okay, but we will see you as the show goes on. If you have any questions, YouTube is a great place to put them. We also see you on Facebook. There you are. But thank you for joining. A couple things right out of the gate. Today, I usually use this time to ask people to go support Soule Gravy in his endeavor here and send him lots of cash.
That's right.
But I think Soule Gravy, we have a different place that we'd like you to send any additional coins that you have laying around.
No doubt. A friend of the podcast and JD Graham was in a really bad accident out in New Mexico. From what I understand, he was airlifted to Amarillo, I believe. He's pretty. I mean, I think he's doing fairly good considering the fact he's stable and all those things. But he does have a broken neck, a broken back, other broken things that they haven't even found yet. So his life and career and everything changed extremely quickly. And his wife actually just wrapped up some chemo sessions, and now this is going on for the family. So, yeah, it's just one of those things. But JD has a GoFundMe out there. It's on his page, JD Graham Music. So go to his all of his socials, and there's a GoFundMe there, and give what you can, support somebody that. Honestly, JD is one of those guys that, like, I had questions about things and he immediately sent me his number and, like, give me a call, man. And ever since then, he's been cool to me. And that doesn't always happen. So when it does, it is extremely appreciated. And you can see, if you just scroll on social media, you'll see everybody posting about him, which also says a ton, from Courtney Patton to, all kinds of people singing his praises and advertising his GoFundMe. And so, yeah, if this comes across your radar, please go check that out and help a guy out in definite need. So
And Soule Gravy made a commitment that he was going to put the link in the comments. So he's going to work on that while I will
work on that, and it will definitely be. It'll definitely be in the video when everything is said and done as well, down in the description.
Awesome.
And yeah, I will try to get it in the chat here when I can figure out how to do that.
We can't say enough good things about JD, and he's definitely in our prayers, and his whole family is. But just a super tragic deal, and it's one of the things about the community of this community specifically. This independent community really is great about getting behind folks when they might need it. So this is definitely one of those points. So with that being said, we appreciate y'all being here. I'm super excited because I get a chat with Henry Williams tonight. Henry, welcome to the show.
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
Doing good, man.
Yeah.
I would just give a little intro here first. I was lucky enough to get to see Henry at the Teague Brothers Christmas party, which was a blast. And I wasn't super familiar with Henry, but I feel like I am now. But we're gonna get even more familiar with you. So, if you don't mind, maybe taking a couple minutes and go ahead, Soule Gravy.
I was just gonna say Henry's one of the few Texas guys that I actually mentioned first, surprisingly.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I kind of Henry was playing live on TikTok, and I'm like, okay, he's pretty good, but not everybody that's on TikTok has original music out there. So, and we try to promote, original music. So go and dig a little bit, and that was good too. So I shouted, went back to his live. Hey, would you be interested in coming on the podcast? And then not long after that, you were like, hey, guess who I get to see?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it worked out well.
It's
I mean, it's almost like we had a plan, but we didn't.
but we don't.
No. Anyway, Henry, welcome in. Thanks so much for being here. We're going to throw it to you and have you just take a couple minutes and give us a little bit of your backstory, and then we'll get into some shenanigans after that.
Heck yeah, that sounds good. What's going on, guys? My name's Henry Williams. I'm a singer-songwriter from Cedar Park, Texas. It's really good to be spending my evening here with Steve and the Soul. I was, like I said, born and raised in Cedar Park. Grew up in a really a very very good place in Austin, and went to the same three schools all 3 years. Had a good group of friends. Went to college, lived the best life, and then one day I kind of woke up and was like, I think I want to sing country music. And before I knew it, I just started, playing shows, hanging out with all sorts of really interesting people, some good, some questionable, and all in between. And all of this, and fun, crazy journey with country music has led me to this exact moment to hang out with these two really cool people. And so, it's about, I think, as easy as I could sum it up in 2 minutes.
Well,
Like
well
maybe 1
done.
minute.
There were some questionable things in there. I mean, we'll take whatever compliments, but yeah, that's not the purpose tonight. So, Henry is actually originally from, and from what I understand, lives in Cedar Park, Texas, which is a suburb about 15 miles north of Austin. Would that be right?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
I'm in the
sir.
ballpark. All right. Okay, population Soul Gravy, don't let this throw you off. But as of the 2020 census was 77,595 folks.
Okay.
So, I mean, based upon that, I feel like he should do pretty well. But we'll see.
Okay. The GoFundMe link should be in the chat as well, at least on YouTube. I think on Facebook too, but if not,
Awesome.
I'll check later.
Okay.
After I get through getting quizzed.
This is Why Are They Famous?
Okay.
Episode number 196, I believe.
Something like that.
So yeah, we're moving along. We're very excited about that. First person from Cedar Park. All these folks were born in Cedar Park, by the way. Well, one of them maybe not, but almost all of them. First person, his name is Levi Bell.
I don't think I'm familiar with Levi's work.
Levi played in the NFL.
Okay.
Defensive lineman, played for the Seahawks, the Colts, and the Ravens.
Okay.
Shout out to Levi.
I appreciate you trying with the sports ball questions, though. I mean, I know you're trying to help a homie out, but I don't always get them.
That's true.
Okay.
Well, stay in that same line of thought. Mason Brooks.
Mason Brooks. Well, I would say he's an athlete, apparently. Yeah, but I'm not familiar with Mason.
Mason played offensive line for the Washington Commanders.
Okay. All right.
So, yep, right out of the gate. All right, this one maybe a little tougher. Donald T. Carson, T-E-E. Donald Carson, if you wish.
I don't think so.
Donald's a well-known jazz pianist.
Okay.
Be careful how I say that. He was in Count Basie's band.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Spencer Drango, D-R-A-N-G-O.
I'm not familiar, but I like the name.
Yeah, solid name.
Mm-hmm.
Any guesses?
Maybe there's a plumbing company here named Drango, but I don't think that's the same.
I mean, could be related, maybe. I don't know. A lot of Tennessee folks came to Texas. Appreciate helping out with the Alamo and all.
No problem.
But
no problem.
Spencer,
they like to volunteer for things, apparently.
Yes, I've heard that.
Mm-hmm.
Spencer also was an offensive lineman in the NFL for the Cleveland Browns. So a lot of big beefy linemen from
well,
the
everything's
area.
bigger in Texas.
That's true.
All right.
Did not know that.
All right. Next up, Hal Hobson. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm going in alphabetical order tonight.
I didn't. I wasn't paying attention, but no. I mean, I don't. I don't know what Hal did either.
Hal composed over 3,000 published works. Christian music
Okay.
was his deal. So
Okay.
that's a lot.
Yeah.
When I think of like, there's rumors out there that Merle Haggard had, 1,000 songs that he didn't record or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But for somebody to have 3,000 published works, that's pretty impressive.
I don't know. I don't know that many Christian songs that sound that different. They generally all sound
I mean, he
about the
probably
same.
found his lane.
Understand. Just keep
All right.
on keeping on. All right.
Edwin Kessler.
Is he the Kessler
With an S.
Kessler? Oh, no, I'm not familiar.
He's an atmospheric scientist who oversaw development of Doppler radar.
Okay, well that's important.
I mean, that's
All right.
that's pretty
important.
badass.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. I have a couple more.
Okay.
It hasn't been horribly successful.
No, not at all. But it's interesting though. That's the point.
Okay, good.
All right.
Leanderthal lady.
Dang.
Oh boy, that's one way to get out of it.
Leanderthal. No, I'm not familiar. I don't think.
She was a corpse that was found. They
Goodness.
carbon dated, and stratigraphic analysis showed the remains to be 10,000 to 13,000 years old. The skeleton is a 5'3" tall female who was about 18 to 30 years old time of death. The find was significant as is one of the oldest, most complete human skeletons found in North America.
Where was she found? Same place?
Soule Gravy, this is about Cedar Park, Texas.
Understand, but she was actually she was from there and found there.
Well, that's why I said I'm not sure she was born there, but she was probably born not far away.
Gotcha. That was a while ago. Understand.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. All right. I actually know this person. That should be a hint.
Okay.
For you. His name's Tyler Patman.
I'm guessing you know them because they're in music, but I don't know. I'm not sure.
That would be an incorrect guess.
Okay. Sorry.
He actually went to the University of Kansas, where I went to school, and he's played defensive back for the Cowboys and the Dolphins.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
It's one of the first people out of all these that I've done that I've actually known in real life, which is kind of cool. So,
and we've done quite a bit of these. So
we have last one, Soule Gravy. This is your chance at redemption.
I thought that was the last one.
No, this is the last one. And,
all right.
And I gave you a hint in the intro on this. This is your chance at redemption. Stryken, Stryken.
Striking. What?
They were a Christian heavy metal rock band from the 1980s.
Okay. Like Striper.
Yep, but striking. Yep. There we are, folks. That was episode number 196. Why are they famous? Cedar Park, Texas. So
now I gotta make sure this one is actually 196 when I make this stuff.
That's right.
Okay. All right.
We'll hope for better results next Tuesday with Race Ricketts. Folks, hope you get a chance to join us next Tuesday at 8 o'clock. We're going to have a little chat with Race. A little promo there. All right, Henry. Thanks for putting up with us while we did that.
You're good.
We're going to get to know you a little bit better.
Cool.
This first question is called the pie question.
The pie.
The pie question. It is a musical pie, unfortunately. Or fortunately, depends on how you look at it. We divide it into 4 different sections. Songwriting, recording, performing. And then the 4th section is all the stuff that you didn't necessarily know you signed up to do when you decided you wanted to do music, but isn't really related to music.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it is technically kind of related, but hanging out with a couple old guys on a podcast, doing social media, changing tires on band vans, all those things that tend to take up a lot of time. But my question for you specifically with regard to the pie is, which one of those 4 pieces feels the most like home for you?
Probably the performing. Growing up, I spent a lot of time singing in church in front of people at a very, very young age, and it was just something that is always just natural. I enjoy, I guess, entertaining people, and just I don't know. It sounds bad, but like being the center of attention for like a crowd of people for a short period of time, and like what's funny is because when I get off stage, I'm like kind of the opposite. It's like I can be reserved and quiet, but obviously, a few beers and a couple shots change that. But besides point, um, and but yeah, no, definitely the performing. Performing is a lot of fun. I love, like I said, entertaining people and just all of that jazz, I guess, is
Yeah,
the best way to
absolutely.
put it.
So you knew that at a relatively early age. When were the other pieces, I guess, kind of introduced to you in terms of songwriting and maybe recording? At what point of your career or your life did those kind of come into focus?
So I wrote my first song when I was, I want to say like 11. I didn't actually pick up songwriting until later on in my life, as in like, about maybe 3 or 4 years ago is when they were like, hey, well, you should probably write your own songs if you're going to be a country singer and be an original artist. And I was kind of like, okay, well, I guess I could do that. And I, uh, I will say that's probably been one of the more challenging sides is songwriting because it's very much a muscle. You got to work it out every day, and whether or not you're writing something you think is good or something that's halfway decent or just plain trash. I mean, it's probably the most challenging, but it's probably the most rewarding. I like to think. Um, Recording, kind of the same thing. I didn't record my first single until last year, and I was 22 last year, so you could say I went 22 whole years without knowing what the heck the recording studio is like, what that process was going to be. It was very much a learning curve, and it definitely it doesn't sit as high as songwriting and performing, but it's definitely up there in the realm of, man, like this is challenging. This is something I got to learn.
Yep,
And as you know, all the rest of the other stuff, it's like social media, the consistency in the algorithm, and I guess being your own booking agent, being your own band manager, the business side of things is probably the easiest way to categorize it. That is probably the one realm that I am still learning, as like even as we sit here. It's you know it's very difficult, and I'm sure that a lot of people can agree that there's no easy way to manage the business side unless you just stick yourself through it and do it.
absolutely. Well, and on the business side too, I think there is any more depending on kind of what your long-term goals are and where you want to take your music.
Hmm.
If you're looking to potentially partner with somebody, having a formulated business seems to be a pretty important piece of it. So it's
Yes.
great that you're learning all the different aspects of it. And I know it can be a little bit painful and foreign, but it is probably a
100%.
better long-term situation that you have your hands in all of it than necessarily handing it to somebody else.
I've been told that before, and as stubborn as I like to think I am, it's like it's like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to deal with it, blah 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 blah. But then I sit there and I'm like, no, like I gotta do this. You gotta earn your stripes.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I say that almost every day when I sit down with Soul Gravy. So that's, I kind of want to do it. It is what it is. All right. Well, I do want to follow up a little bit more on the songwriting piece. Is that
Hmm.
you talked about kind of exercising the muscle?
Hmm.
Um, is that something that you kind of keep close to your, something that's a solo thing, or are you in the process of expanding to kind of writing with other folks, or kind of what's your take on that?
So for the longest time, it was a really interesting, I guess, situation to be in. I always want to write with other people because in my eyes, somebody can bring something that you don't have, and you can bring something somebody else doesn't. So you're both helping each other out while trying to achieve the same goal. You want to complete a song. I started off kind of, just writing by myself a lot. And then eventually it was like, hey, what could I do better? I'd ask, I personally always try to be the worst person in the room when it comes to writing. And I really kind of just like doing both. Personally, I feel like it's a lot of fun whenever you write with multiple people because there's multiple different ideas, multiple different backgrounds, multiple different opinions on this.
You're
Not sure
back.
what just
Yeah.
happened there. Sorry.
Yeah,
So
multiple different opinions.
But yeah, no. Yeah, multiple different opinions, multiple different outlooks, and there's sometimes you can't get that when you're by yourself. And then there's times where it's like, man, this is something I just need to work on by myself. It's a mixed bag for me. I've been writing. I've been confidently writing for 4 years, both with other artists and with myself. Personally, I like writing for other people more than I like writing for myself because I like helping other people. And so, an example, a couple weeks ago, I wrote with Ty Smith from Ty Smith and the Minor
Yeah.
Offenses, Trent Cowie, and Dylan Reese, three amazing, phenomenal artists in their own respective, but all four of us are from completely different spectrums of country.
mhm.
We
Right.
came together and we wrote some songs, and it was just like, whoa. Like, you never know what four random dudes can get together and do in a room with music, that is. And it's just, there's something magical about it. And, I could say the same thing about what happened, with Levi Walker, John Teague, Ty Smith, and I, whenever we got up, into Tonka Ranch, last year. It's just, you never know what you can get with writing with other artists. And sometimes you find a diamond in the rough, and other times you just, find crap. So it's a lot of things.
Yep. Well, just to dig in just a little bit deeper, do you have an area when you are in that one of those group settings where you feel like this is maybe the strongest thing that I have to offer, whether it be, lyrically or melodically or structure wise, or is there anything that you go, okay, I feel like I can stand on my own in this area, or you could be fantastic in all of them. I don't know, but I'm just,
I mean, that's a really good question. I like to think that I do pretty darn good in the in the lyrical realm, but then obviously I think that really kind of just depends on who I'm working with. You know, I think it kind of has base to do on the chemistry you have with the writer, other writers in the room. Like if you're writing with people you don't know, then you're going to be more reserved, more timid, and
sure.
you're not sure what's gonna. You could just lash out and do what you normally do, and they could look at you like you're the craziest person on the planet, or it could click. And so that just really depends on the writer that I'm writing with. If it's by myself, then like I know it works for me, and I'll sit there and take time with it. And there's been times I've been in the room where it's taken 8 hours to write, a verse. And then there's been times where it's been 15 minutes and we got a whole song. Like
It's
it really just
crazy.
depends.
Mhm.
It's insane. It's insane. And I
Uh,
like to think that it just depends personally for me. It could be a little bit of everything, but mainly lyrically, I think
I-
so.
and then one last songwriting question, and Soul Gravy, he's all yours. Um, do you have a, in terms of process wise, are you a notes in the phone kind of person, or are you sit down with the guitar and kind of work from there, or do you have a specific way that you like to get the songs out?
So the best way that I've learned in my experience is I'll sit there and think about the idea, and then I ponder on it for a while. And I'll even do this while I'm working too. Is I'll just, we can't be on our phones at work, so I'll just be sitting there thinking and thinking and thinking while I'm doing my job. And I'm like, okay, that could be something. So I'll write it down,
Okay.
and then I'll sit with the thought, and then it fluctuates into, let's build a rhythm out of this. And then there's other. That's kind of just how the process works in my brain. I got to sit with it for a little bit, and then it's okay, how could I apply myself to this, or could I put myself in somebody else's shoes? It's a whole thought process, but yeah, definitely. I got to think about it for a while and then be like, okay, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, I find it so interesting that everybody has a little bit different
Yeah.
process in terms of getting there, and I appreciate you sharing that with us.
No, of course.
What about how do you get that notes from the phone, or after work you get that idea of how in your phone, or however you save that to deciding, okay, this would be good for this co-writing session.
So that's actually really, really really, 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 really interesting that you said that, because I was going to segue into that. It usually just depends on the idea. There's some ideas where I think I'm like, okay, like who would this be most suitable for?
Mm-hmm.
If I know I can't write it by myself, I know that I can bring it up to somebody else later down the road.
Mm-hmm.
And an example, there was a song that I wanted to write a while ago. I think it might be on my TikTok somewhere farther down from like a year ago. I wanted to write a Keith Whitley song, and I wanted to Keith Whitley, Dean Dillon, Paul Overstreet, that genre of country.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to think, okay, well, who grew up with the same kind of music, and how could they also incorporate their own spin on those three artists? And I called that said person, and I think we got the product way better than what I ever could have done by myself. It's called If I Did. It's somewhere down there, and it's currently on hold, so it did its purpose, which is really cool. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, no.
How did you get from writing the songs by yourself to finding folks? Well, one, I guess I'll back up and go. You start playing gigs solo, I'm imagining, but then you talk about. I mean, you haven't really been playing that long out compared, but you are mentioning all these folks like Trent and Todd Smith and folks like that. How long were you playing before you started mixing and mingling with folks like that?
So, man,
I just think that's cool that we talked to all these different folks, and they have their groups,
mhm.
and whether it be Edie and Adam Hood, and they got their people, but now you guys, you're starting your own little. I know you're still in that same scene, but you're starting your own little pocket and with your own connections and things like that. So I think that's really cool to see from afar. So.
Yeah, no. So as it started out, it really just bothered the heck out of people until finally somebody said yes. Like it took some time. My first ever like official co-write happened like not even like a couple weeks into starting out. It was just me and another buddy, and over time, it kind of just turned into being in the room at the right time, making your own opportunities, I guess I should say, because luck doesn't always just happen. You sometimes have to make your own luck happen. I mean, it's hard work, and I'm very fortunate enough to say that Ty Smith has introduced me to a good amount of people. Only because of one time I just happened to be scrolling through Instagram and he was on an Instagram live, so I hopped in his live, and the rest was kind of history. And I started meeting other younger artists once I wanted to become more involved. And I it's just a blessing. There's no other way to put it. It's really cool to just to do it, to
Yeah.
write with people and be in the room and just learn.
Well, another thing I like to ask is, do you remember when especially on original music, do you remember a situation or a show or anything where someone that wasn't family or somebody that didn't know you, one of your songs, like they listened to one of your songs and actually, spoke up, as far as letting you know, hey, I like this song or whatever. Do you remember like the first time that happened with you?
Um, Sorry, I don't know what's going on with my phone. It's just being not friendly today, and I apologize.
Sorry.
So the first time I had that happen, I this happened a little over a year ago. I I sat down with a good friend of mine named Miss Jessie Lee, and we wrote this song together. And we had played it in an open mic, and I kind of just put it on the shelf and let it sit for 3 or 4 months before I'm like, oh, I forgot I wrote this song. Let me, I guess, dust it off and try playing it. And I went ahead and played it at a writer's round that I was having. with just some buddies and some friends, and they brought some people that brought people, and they I played that song, and I didn't think nothing of it, and they're like, dude, like, you just spoke about the entire breakup that I'm going through right now, and I don't really know how to feel about it. It's making me kind of uncomfortable that you just spoke about everything I'm going through. And I was like, well, what do you, like, that song's a little depressing. What do you mean, man? And we had this, 30-minute conversation, and I was like, well, I'm glad the song touched you, that it made you think about everything you're going through. He's like, I think I'm going to give her a call. Because he was kind of, being, I wouldn't say the instigator in that situation, but, and I'm not saying any names, but it was really weird to have somebody come up to me and just start blabbering about their personal life and how one song kind of said that. And I know every artist has the same reaction, but like, it's still kind of shocking when someone comes up and says, hey, your song kind of like changed my perspective on something today. And it's very humbling and very, very emotionally interesting as well. I don't know. There aren't words I could find to put to it.
No, but it also proves that someone was listening.
Yeah.
Which is a whole nother different. Yeah, they got to listen for it to strike them like that. So, when trying to get people to listen is not always easy. So, I'm sure that take it as a compliment as well, because something about your performance or this and the song made them pay attention, like, which is half the battle, right? So,
yeah.
We're at halftime, so I think we need to get you to give us a little rundown on the song "Pride" that we're going to play. Is this one that you co-wrote with somebody, or is this a solo song, or what?
Yeah. So I wrote this song in the very, very early, actually probably around this time of 2024 with my good friend Mr. Tom Trippin at the candy store. I, like every other person at that age in my life, had just, been going through a breakup with somebody that I had planned, spend the rest of my life with at that point at my time and age. And I wrote countless songs about this person just to help me get through, the years that we spent together. And eventually I sat down and started writing this song, and I brought it to him, and I was like, I don't know what I should do with this. And he said, this is different than anything you've showed me. Let's finish it. And it originally was called She's Moved On for the longest time. And then we changed it to Pride because, you always lose your pride when you lose somebody, especially someone that made you feel a certain way. So yeah, that's the story on that one.
All right. Sounds good. Here we go.
Sunset sky on a summer day. Blonde hair blowing in the wind with the windows down. Cruising 87, she'll be headed down to Galveston. I know she won't be coming back. It's all uphill from here, but I don't care anymore. Her bags are packed, her car is loaded down, her mind is set, she's leaving town. The only thing that could stop her is herself. My pride is gone and she's moved on, so I guess I have to.
Damn, that ripped. I thought for a second that was Neil Sean from Journey on the guitar there. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was Marian Aquilina. He played guitar for Jason Mraz for 8 years, has 2 Grammys, and a whole bunch of other awards that I've never heard of because he's just that good.
Yeah, I mean the whole song is great, but that solo definitely stood out for sure.
Oh yeah, I told him to let it rip, and
You did.
when we went into the studio that day, I said, I want you to think about early 2000s Keith Urban and 2000s country.
Definitely.
And just send it to Jesus. And he did way more than that. And,
yeah.
Always hits.
Where was that recorded?
We recorded that at Stormy Cooper Media in Addicts, or AKA Houston, Texas. A lot of fellow Texas artists highly recommended Stormy Cooper. And I believe Cody Johnson had recorded some songs there at one point. Some other well-known Texas artists that I am grateful to say that I've met a couple of times have also recorded there. Jake Bush, Kinfo. There's names all along that wall. I'm just like, oh my goodness. I'm like a kid in a candy store. Crazy.
Super cool. Well, we do need to talk. You've got a song coming out in March. Anything that you can tell us about that?
Oh man, dude! This song we have coming out in March, Steve. So we've had this song on the shelf for about 2 years now. Oh man, so I'm very big, like I said, on the writer's side of things, and I also totally believe that it is 100% okay for artists to record other artists' songs. So growing up, I grew up with the radio. Josh Keir practically wrote my childhood. Same with, people like Ashley Gorley and Shane McAnally. And there's another big name that I'm forgetting there. I think I said Ashley Gorley. I'm not sure if I did or not. I think I did. But essentially, this song Josh Keir had wrote with Ashley Gorley years ago, when I was literally in kindergarten, and it got put on the shelf for the longest time. And my bass player happens to be friends with Josh and was like, hey, I got this catalog of music we can go through. These are just things that have been passed on or just people kind of forgot about. And the first time I heard this song, I was like, okay, this might be a good song. I think we need to do something with this. And the more I guess we played it and practiced it, the more I was just like, yeah, I need to give this song a home. And everyone in my, every single person that's heard it so far has been like, Henry, we need the song now. It should have came out yesterday. It's like, okay. And so we put it off for such a long time because we wanted to just do it right. And we finally got it right where we want it. And so we're putting it out March 27th. And, yeah, I'm pretty excited. We're going to drop the flyer for that, by the way, on March 1st. So you got to wait 4 days to find out what the title is.
All right. I like the hook and tease. I like it.
Yeah. You got the first half mile all dug and paved. So, yeah.
What about shows and stuff that's coming up as well?
Dude, we've got some really good shows this year. Some pretty cool things lined up. So as next week, actually, I'm going to be in Nashville. Second time being in Nashville, by the way. I am going to be playing at the True Music Room at the Cambria Hotel downtown from 6 to 7, which I'm super excited about. That's probably been one of my favorite shows as of recent. This Friday, I'm actually going to be playing downtown with Elle Townley. She just won Young Artist of the Year at Cattleman's Country Club. So that's going to be great. We're on a lineup this year with Eli Young Band, which I am extremely looking forward to. Growing up with Eli Young Band on the radio, and just their music's great. We've got a couple dates at Rhinestone this year in Fort Worth with Will Bannister and David Adam Burns. We're actually headlining there next year on my birthday, which is really cool. And we're at Lukenbach in October with Chad Cook Band, which I heard is their last show ever, which is extremely sad as their friend to see that they're not going to be touring much anymore. But, I'm excited for what Chad's doing on in, his next chapter of life. Just a lot of really cool things. I mean, to be able to get up and play these shows with some of these artists and to to just to just to do it. I mean, it's a gift and a blessing. So grateful for all these cool shows, and oh yeah, I guess I could say this show announcement. Um, I can't say who's headlining the show, but we're at Waller County Fair this year, and we're doing the side stage finally, which is really cool. I'm super excited for that.
That's great.
For anybody that knows, getting on a rodeo or a county fair lineup is extremely difficult to do,
It
and
is.
so to be able to say that we can do it at such an early point in our very young but hopefully bright career is a huge accomplishment. So yeah.
Well, you can go as far into this question as you want, but what as far as your team, is that pretty much all you at this point, or do you got folks helping you, or?
So yeah, I'm very very privileged to have a extremely supportive family, but not just an actual family, but like my band family. Um, Vince DeJoya is my lead guitar player. He's also happens to be our producer, and he, you know, pretty much does all the recordings and stuff. Richard is our band leader. He's our bassist. He's the one that kind of, helps get our sound dialed in, make sure that, we're doing our part. Or my drummer, there's no other else way to put it. You just got to meet my drummer, Kevin. He's great. I mostly do the booking, and they help out with promotional stuff along the way. My mother and grandmother are my merchandise and media, so they're pretty much the ones that make all the merch, get it there, and just kind of they just filling in the cracks and everywhere in between. My dad and my brother do photography for me. They're both photographers, so it's just one big giant family helping each other out, and that's my team pretty much. It's very family driven and very family oriented.
I just wanted to point that out with the gigs that you were talking about doing. You know, from the rhinestone to the fair or to the rodeo stages to,
Hmm.
all those things like that. That's not easy to get to start with, and
Hmm.
especially on your own solo like that. So, congratulations on that. That's a whole nother different obstacle, and kudos for that. And the family thing too. That doesn't always unfortunately, a lot of times family doesn't understand why people want to do what they're doing, and for you to have folks like that on in your corner and on your bandwagon, that's a great thing. So
Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm very very blessed, and it's just like it's just another thing, man. It's just I'm grateful to do it and glad to have people that support it.
mhm.
My speaking of Soul Gravy, my wife kind of wonders what I do every Tuesday from 8 to 9. So might have you fill in the gap there as well. Um,
Understand.
I am interested to know. So you made it a specific point to mention Josh Ward on your bio on your website
Yeah.
about notably having the opportunity to open for Josh. So
Hmm.
folks, if you want to go back and watch episode 148, Josh Ward, you can learn all about Josh. But I think that is a huge honor. If I imagine what it would be like to be an artist and have a super young, talented
Hmm.
artist shout me out in their bio. Like that's
Yeah.
super cool. Can you tell us a little bit about your relationship with Josh?
So I can't say that I'm personally close with Josh. Josh Ward alone I feel like is the pinnacle of what Texas country is. I mean, everybody in Texas has heard of Josh Ward. They know who Josh Ward is. Josh Ward's a big name in Texas.
Absolutely.
And I've been fortunate enough to see a lot of Josh's shows. My former boss is his super number one fan, and if Josh ends up seeing this, he knows exactly who I'm talking about. And so she was the one that kind of introduced me to Josh. And Josh has just always given solid advice every time I've seen him. Like I actually saw him last weekend. I saw him Saturday. He was playing at Rowdy Spring in Spring,
Oh, nice.
Texas.
Yeah.
And every time, like I said, every time I see him, there's always a new piece of information that he passes along that's like, hey, so like, what are you focusing on in this realm this week, or like at this point in time? And well, like I can't say, like I said, I don't talk to him religiously. I can't, I am not saying that I am not saying anything like that. But what I'm saying is, you know, it that's the huge accomplishment in my book, is opening for somebody like Josh. And
Absolutely.
especially to have, I guess, some sort of working business relationship, and to be able to learn something, every time I see him is, like I said, it's just an accomplishment. It's a blessing and it's a privilege. So,
Yep. Super, super cool. I do want to briefly talk before we get to the rapid fire, because
mhm.
that is quickly approaching. But I do want to know anything that you can share with maybe newer artists on the booking side, maybe lessons that you've learned so far, or anything that you think has been helpful.
Oh yeah, not the easiest, but one outcome that I've noticed that is a lot more successful than others is showing up to venues, showing up to support other artists, and making the connections with the artists. Because the artists most of the time will help you get into the venue faster than you getting into the venue. Because um, in my experience, when you're a younger artist, it's hard to have a hard ticket data for a certain region.
Sure.
So your best bet is always to talk with the artists that's playing, like, slowly make your way into being friends with them, but actually build that connection, because playing shows with your friends is a whole lot of fun in comparison to, you know, playing with somebody you don't quite know yet. And so that would be probably the best advice that I could give for booking, is making connections, going to places around the place you're trying to get into, because there's no telling that somebody working at the bigger bar is going to go stop by the small one for a drink after working that said shift at big bar, and they hear you playing and they're like, hey, like, let's give this kid a shot. I mean, he's keeping a crowd in here and he's pretty dang entertaining. Like, what's the worst that could happen? He doesn't come back. Okay, let's give him a shot. And that's all you need, is just one shot. That's all it is. It's all it takes is one.
Well, I especially appreciate that attitude. Anybody who's done any amount of booking will tell you it's not the most glamorous thing in the world,
Oh
but
no, it
it's
is not.
incredibly important.
It is, definitely is.
All right, we are good news. We're at the rapid fire section, which means you're almost done with us. So I'm gonna fire some questions at you, and just first thing that kind of comes to your head. So
Cool.
they're
I'm
kind of
scared.
all over the place. First question is, what's your favorite chord?
Favorite chord, the G chord.
Okay, the G chord. All right.
All right.
Good answer. We're getting less technical with this answers of the last few days, but it's
Oh
a
Lord.
solid answer.
Yeah.
Henry, do you listen to Spotify?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. Any idea who was on your Spotify Wrapped at the end of last year?
Chad Cook Band.
Okay.
Straight up Chad Cook Band.
All right. Shout
And
out.
George Strait.
All right. Great. Fantastic. In an alternate universe, you are starting a podcast to help promote your music.
Mm-hmm.
You get to have one guest on to start off. Who would you choose?
Can it be alive or dead?
Sure.
I don't know why, but my brain instantly went to Michael Jackson, only because that was my childhood pretty much. So it's like, why not just go for the Big Bang if he was still alive? I'm sure somebody's going to have an opinion about that, but that's okay.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I think folks would tune in,
There's a lot of questions.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, yeah.
100%.
especially since he's dead. But yeah, whatever.
They'd be like, hey, he's alive? Huh? Hold up.
I mean, there are theories out there. All right.
There are theories.
You get dinner with one historical figure. I want to know, they also can be dead or alive. I want to know who you're going to break bread with, and what are you going to eat?
Jesus.
Okay.
It's Jesus. I mean, he's kind of the one he gifted us this life. He died for our sins, and I think that that's probably the one person that I think anybody should always want to have a conversation with. I mean, I get to talk to him every day, but to like actually sit down and have a conversation like actually one on one with Jesus would probably be the best thing, and it would probably be spaghetti, because I really love spaghetti.
Okay. All right. Great. Well, hopefully Jesus does as well. I know you've seen a few green rooms. What does your ideal green room look like?
A room that's not actually green, personally. Shocking,
Right.
I know, right? A non-green room. I mean, probably, I think, it's got to have a couch in there, and at least water. There's been a couple of them that have actually had like food, like actual food.
Yeah,
Like they
it's
had
pretty
food
cool.
waiting for me when I got there, and that was very interesting to walk into a plate of spaghetti with bread and a lemonade. It was kind of just like, oh, like me?
Yeah, pretty cool.
And so it's got to be that. Yeah.
Now, after our
100%.
conversation, now he's going to be like, Jesus?
Yeah, right. Let everybody know I want spaghetti.
Man,
All right.
their podcast has got a lot of viewers.
This question is, I think, a fair question. One, just based upon the length of time that you've been doing it. But what is a bucket list venue in Texas that you would want to play? You got to pick one.
Probably Billy Bob's.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Billy Bob's is an end goal personally.
Yeah.
Got to be Billy Bob's.
And then if you, excuse me, if you were going to pick one outside the state of Texas, what would be the one venue that you would want to play?
The Ryman.
The Ryman? All right, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently 45% of the people in the world have this. Do you have Frisian?
Have what?
Frisian? It's when somebody sings and you get the goosebumps.
That's a new one.
Yeah, I slid it on you.
I have gotten goosebumps from people singing. Yeah. 100%.
Okay, so you have Frisian, but less than half the people have it. So it's just fun fact.
I don't know what that is. I'm gonna have to do some research on that. That sounds extremely big boy.
To tie all that back in, I had Frisian last weekend with Shane Smith and the Saints at the Ryman.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Wow.
Yeah, he did Go Rest High on that mountain in the Ryman, which is like, yeah.
They are Frisian deliverers.
No doubt about
that. Two more questions, and then I'll hand you off to Soule Gravy for an incredibly important question. When I say sad song, what do you think of?
Like what song?
Yeah, is there one that kind of comes to mind when I say sad song?
Not necessarily. I mean, there's multiple ones. The first three that came to my mind, probably When It Rains by Eli Young Band, and then The State You Left Me In by Jake Worthington.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Solid choices.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Definitely.
All right, you got to add any of your music to an existing soundtrack or movie. What are you adding and to what show?
Can you repeat the question again? I'm sorry.
Yes. You have the ability to sync your music to any movie or TV show. Which one would it be?
Man, that's a tough question. I don't know.
It's okay. I've got another one if you want to skip.
Yeah, let's go ahead and skip, man. That's a good one.
All right. This one's a little easier because you can say yes or no to it. So,
okay.
Tribute bands, yay or nay?
Depending, yeah.
He found the loophole.
Depending on?
Well, the quality of the tribute band,
okay,
what the tribute's for, and yeah, that's mainly it. I mean, I've seen some tribute bands. I'm not gonna lie, I've seen a few tribute bands. I'm a huge Def Leppard fan, and as you know, Def Leppard is extremely hard to see on tour.
Yes.
And so I saw a tribute band that a friend of a friend was playing in, and I was like, wow, I was like, I can see why people do this. Like you can make money playing in tribute bands. I've heard.
Certainly can.
I know I have a lot of mutual friends, like friends of friends, that are all in tribute bands. Like Escape, the Journey tribute.
Yeah.
I have friends that are friends with one of the guitarists, and he is living very comfortably doing so. So like I have a lot of respect for tribute artists. Now I wouldn't necessarily say I would put myself in that situation or category,
sure,
but I think it's pretty cool. I mean, it's cool.
Yeah.
Right. You're doing your thing, I'm doing mine.
Yep. All right. Well, Henry, you have survived rapid fire. We'll see if you survived the last question, but All your Soul Gravy.
All right. Make sure y'all go follow Henry on all of his socials. He does the TikTok live thing every now and then. So go and follow him there. And whenever you catch him live, go in and ask for some originals and some George Straits.
Yes.
But wherever you stream your music, go hit the follow over there so that you'll know when the new music comes out. Name drops in March 1st. The single drops March 22nd. I actually made notes.
27th.
27th.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
That might not be what came out, but that's what I told you about the dinner.
5 days.
Yeah. All right. Henry, this is this started off as a joke on episode 1, and now is a requirement. Then we asked this. So we need to know what your favorite Little Debbie snack is.
Ooh, it's the Christmas trees.
That didn't take long.
Yeah. I was trying to
Christmas
think of what
trees, hands
Josh
down.
Ward's was. Oh, he said all of them.
You did.
He
Josh
did.
said all of them.
That's a
Like
good.
a
That's a good answer, as all of them. But no, it's definitely the Christmas trees, because Christmas time is the one time I kind of just say, you know what, screw it. I can have anything I want, and I won't regret it on the toilet in an hour. Yeah.
When you said the spaghetti earlier, like that, and then Dr. Mike put in the chat there the mom spaghetti. Like that's immediately where I went to. So
100%.
yeah,
100%. Well, folks, thanks for joining tonight. Henry, we appreciate you taking time to hang with us. And you bet. And join us next week. We have 2 great guests. 8 p.m. on Tuesday is Race Ricketts. And then Texas country legend and troubadour Jamie Richards on Wednesday at 8 p.m. So we'll look forward to seeing you all soon. Thanks for being here.
see you.